What's going on, guys? Welcome to another late hour smoke on Hump Day with myself, Panda Baby. And I'm here with no other than the Bougie Don himself. What's up, Cigar Don?
What's happening? What's going on?
Mm. How you doing this Hump Day?
Doing good, man. Doing good. Just hanging out at the in the Oasis Lounge and enjoying a cigar.
I hear you, man. Today was my first day back, and like I told you earlier, man, I was running around like a chicken without a head, man. I mean, it was just non freaking stop from the minute I got there. And then, of course, tomorrow we got case reviews. I'm up to like 19 cases, and I'm like, it just never ends.
Now, do you have to go over all those cases with somebody?
Yep. It's getting a little redundant, but it has to be done.
Yeah.
Making sure everybody's doing what they're supposed to do. Like I said, today was just a matter of me playing catch up from the cases that I did before I left on vacation for my birthday, and just kind of making sure that everything's up to par. And then I got some additional information, so I'm still working on a few things. But before we get to all this stuff, what are you smoking?
So I am smoking the Five Vegas Brazil, the Big Five.
Ask me what I'm smoking.
So, Panda, what are you smoking?
Well, ironically enough, I too am smoking the Five Vegas Brazil.
This was unplanned, y'all. Just so you know.
What's up, Pats? Come on. We constantly talk about Five Vegas, right? And we constantly talk how good, especially the price point on this. To me, I know I use the word a lot when it comes to certain things, but this is a phenomenal smoke for the price. Yeah.
It really is.
It is.
And the thing about this cigar too is, sometimes when you get into these bigger sizes, you lose some of the flavor, you lose some of the. You don't on this one. It's good from start to finish.
Yeah. Talk a little closer to your mic, Don. You sound a little.
Oh, I got it pulled away. Is that better?
Yeah, a little better.
Yeah.
Yeah, you sounded like you're going through your other speaker instead of your mic.
Don't tell me that happened again.
Dude, so I went back to the lounge since Saturday, right? And they go, "Hey Pete, you still got bottles left in there, right? In the back room." I'm like, yeah, I know I left a couple. There's some in our locker. They go, no, there's some underneath the sink.
Oh, no.
Bro, I open up the sink, all these care packages. Well, oh my Lord.
I'll tell you, man. So before you got there, when your wife and his wife was setting up and everything, and people were starting to come in a little bit, everybody was bringing in bags, and it was obviously either wine or liquor. It was those bags, the bag, bags I'm talking about, the gift bags. It was those kind of bags, and there was stuff everywhere because they were trying to get set up, and I don't want to say people were antsy to get rid of it, but they didn't know what to do with it. So Jenja was just grabbing it and she was putting it in the back. She must have stuffed stuff under there just to get them out of the way for a minute. And
dude, there's like there's definitely seven or eight bottles.
Holy cow.
Yeah, and mind, they're all wine because all the women brought bottles of wine so they could share. But Phil, Jen's friend's boyfriend, who's our mixologist of the evening.
That was
that
was a welcome surprise.
Yeah,
that was a welcome surprise.
Yeah, Nadina sounds like it was a very good birthday party. It was a great, but not party, but in general, it was and I've been very blessed. Let me tell you, so your brother could tell you the amount of bottles. Listen, I bought about 9 or 10 bottles, and I left home with like maybe 22, 23 bottles, and I picked up another 7 or 8 bottles today from the lounge.
Yeah.
Oh my God! But I mean, I got gifted E.H. Taylor, a bottle of Dalmore, a bottle of Balvenie 14-year Caribbean casket. I got a bottle of Well, there's a lot. It's just too much for me to. I mean, and mind you, I got a bunch of Woodford reserves. I got a bunch of Elijah Craig bottles. Yeah, and a ton of cigars. So I definitely don't have to go to the liquor store anytime soon. No, do I have to go to the cigar lounge to smoke any cigars.
So Dean and Trey made it back to California. They were on the cross country trek when they stopped by here. They were up in Rhode Island. Dina was training to be. She's been in labor and delivery nurse for a long time, and she's training to be a midwife. And correct me if I'm wrong, Dean. I think all the training's done. Just gotta do the board testing and everything now, so everything's good. But they were up in Rhode Island doing some training, so they came back down through. Trey's family lives in San Antonio, so they did San Antonio, Houston, and then they out to Cali. They live just east of LA. I got that right? So
did they fly in? Did they fly, or just
no,
they drove?
Drove cross country, yeah.
Ooh, you guys are brave. You are brave, Northeast. Oh my Lord, that is a long haul. I mean, you're in Texas. I mean, it's not me. How many hours did it take you to get there? Well, actually, you said you did a stop, right?
They did several. So they went Rhode Island, then they came down to. Trey does the driving.
Is your co-pilot as good as well? My co-pilot is good. My sister, on the other hand,
I mean, you better close that back.
Yeah,
48 total hours.
Total, my goodness. That's a long drive. Now, my sister, on the other hand, worst co-pilot ever. It's like the ignition turns on, we get on the highway, and the minute she puts the seat back, her eyes fold.
No. I can't let you get away with that. Pull up that phone and show that picture of you co-piloting Monday night on the way home.
Oh, man. Dude, that was bad, but that was after like 7 or 8 double Woodfords, man. I ain't ashamed.
That's actual birthday night on the way home.
That was actually on Monday. I got lit more on Monday than I did at the party. Waze is your co-wife, is the passenger. Oh man, but yeah, and like I said, we're still getting stuff, man. I'm still receiving stuff through whether it's Amazon or birthday cards and stuff like that. And I greatly appreciate everybody, those who came and celebrated with me.
Dina said she controls the radio.
I heard stories within the walls of cigar.
My boy William came and had an afternoon in the Oasis Cigar Lounge with me yesterday.
Oh man, I tell you that it was a blast. It was a blast. There was at least 100, little over 100 people that showed up, in and out. So yeah, and I've been trying to post a few of them. What I wanted to do was when I gave the toast in the very beginning, because I was like, if I don't do it now, I'm gonna get caught up. I'm gonna forget to thank everybody, and I wanted to thank everybody that was there early before everybody got our
the dude didn't even get the hello out of his mouth before the waterworks started.
Yeah, I got like 3 words out and I started choking. I'm like, what the? But you know what? It's just it was an emotion. I end up redeeming myself. I controlled myself. The waterworks weren't as bad as I thought they were going to be, but yeah, I choked up right in the very beginning. But it's just to see so many family and friends being able to come together and celebrate my day. It meant a lot to me. It really, really did. And I was just, I couldn't have been happier how it ended up. You know what I mean? Food was good. Company was good, music, and the whole spiel. And yeah, and I walked away with a bunch of alcohol and cigars. Listen, I won't lie. There's gonna be a couple of bottles that I'm gonna be regifting. I just don't have no room in my bar. There's a couple of bottles there. I know that Gabe got me that bottle of tequila. You know, what was it? Corazon. I think that's what the one was called, Corazon.
I'm not a tequila guy. I'm not sure.
And then and then some. There was another. I'm not a big tequila person, but he swears by it. And the Don Julio's that he bought the last time was very, very good. And like I said, if I do tequila, it has to be chilled. I can't drink it. I'm not with the salt and the chicken and the lime. That's not me. I just can't do tequila.
Now, people who drink tequila, like actually enjoy tequila, will tell you that if you get a good tequila, you can sip it like we sip on bourbon. I just never been able to do it.
No, I just can't get. I don't know what it is. I mean, for the most tequila gives me really bad heartburn. Okay, so I found one that now I found one. Let me see if because there's a video that I did. I don't know. Maybe you guys know which one it is. Well, you'll know what it is once I show it to you guys. So this was somewhat the hard. Let me turn this off for a second. What the heck? What the heck? Operator malfunction. So these are the ones that I just grabbed and I put on top of the counter. There's my Dalmore 12-year. Dalmore 12. That Blue Run is good stuff. So I think we're coming up to the that one I never heard of, Mossburn. I think that's like a
looks like a Scotch.
Glenlivet's Ford. Here, that it is. Hold on, let me see if I can slow this down because
Tears of Llorona.
It's called Cantera Negra. 100% anejo. I don't know if you guys can see that. This one here, obviously.
Yeah, I never heard of
I've never heard of it. You know, it was gifted to me. That one, and then there's the Corazon, and then that monstrosity of Buffalo Trace. I think that might be the bottle that I end up buying that I bought. But yeah, it was never heard of it. No, well, neither have I. Like I said, I'm not a tequila person like that, and I'm surprised, especially the guy that bought that bottle for me. He knows I'm a big bourbon drinker, but I guess he wanted to give me something different. I looked it up. Not that I care how much the bottle costs, but because I never heard of it, I wanted to see what the heck it was. And I believe that bottle is like a $70, $80 bottle.
Yeah. So Phil was the guy that was making the drinks, right? So he made a drink for RJ that was some kind of a rum drink. I didn't taste it, but they were raving about it. Something with rum. So I didn't know you had rum in there, but
yeah, I had it. To me, it was just a little too spicy for me, considering I was drinking bourbon.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So I end up giving mine. Who did I give mine to? Well, I think I gave mine to my boy Rashad. I appreciate it, you know. And like I said, what I'll do is I'll probably put it in the freezer, and I'll probably try it, you know. But like I said, I can't. Like for me to go on, I'm gonna go get run to go have a tequila shot. That's just not me, you know. Although like the Casa Azul is not bad, but that Don Julio's, and I can never remember the name of that bottle. It's a brown label. That one was very good. It was a little sweet. It wasn't like that big spice, that burn that you get from the agave or whatever it is.
Right.
You know. So yeah, I mean, I just like I said, I'm not a big tequila person. But
so I had William over here yesterday, and we had a I don't know if you're still on here or not, William, but we had a little taste of the 1792 foolproof. Well, it's 124 proof.
I love 1792. I like this. I don't know why I like the small batches a little better. You know, it's just like the oh my Lord, what's the other small batch?
Four Roses.
Four Roses. Thank you. Four Roses small batch. I absolutely love Four Roses small batch. I think they make one hell of a old fashioned, you know. And those are the three I go to is either the Four Roses, Elijah Craig, or Buffalo Trace is what I like.
Yeah.
You know, my old fashions. you know. But yeah. So you're on solo trip for one more night, huh?
One more night, yeah. Wife and daughter come back tomorrow. They've been in DC for the week, so they come back tomorrow, and I pick them up at the airport tomorrow. So,
you got any plans for this weekend? It's a holiday weekend.
I am off Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, and
Wow,
I have the best plans, and that's no plans.
those are the best plans. So, not this weekend. Obviously, the following weekend, I'm actually going to take a little hiatus with the missus. We're going to St. Augustine. We leave Thursday, and we both agree because normally when we normally go either Wednesday or Thursday, and we say it's a Sunday.
Yeah.
But so we're gonna leave Thursday early. Normally we leave around 9:00 because it gets us there around 12:30, and we normally hit Sunset Grill, which is right on the beach, and we normally have our lunch there. I said, you know what, let's do something a little different. Why don't we grab something small for breakfast? We'll drive up there early, go hit the beach for a couple hours before it gets really crazy, and that sun really blares out. Because if we leave around 7 o'clock, we'll get there about 10:30, so the sun will just slowly start peaking. We stay there for a couple hours, go hit Sunset Grill, eat something, and then hit the Airbnb, which is, where we rent I don't want to say where exactly it's at, but I'll say it's in the downtown area. Everything's walking distance, And then, and it's a small little place. It's only meant for 2 people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I said, it's walking distance from everything that we love. And yeah, and there's
that's good because part of the problem that you guys have is the traffic getting into takes you 45 minutes to do a 4-mile ride,
Yeah.
And so if you can walk to places, it'd be nice.
Yeah. I told the wife, so we had bought my son one of those electric scooters. They go like almost 30 miles an hour, those electric scooters.
Mm-hmm.
I'm itching to probably buying another one. So her and I could just cruise around,
You'd be that guy.
It's okay. Yeah, Nadine, let me tell you, we absolutely love St. Augustine. And we normally go like 4 or 5 times, even 6 times a year. It's just this year, we got a new puppy. So things kind of just like, so this is our first trip to St. Augustine since last year, October, which absolutely sucks, but it's all good. And not only that, I got to go find out what the hell we have in that locker, Ernie and I. Because I know I put a dent on my side big time the last time I was up there.
Yeah. Do you find that the stuff because you can't really? I guess if it's in the shop's humidor, then it stays humidified. That.
Okay, so this is what's been my past experience, right? That I've had sorry, I was washing grapes. Hitting the downtown area on Pat's. We'll be hanging out at like where Prohibition Kitchen is at and stuff like that, Stogie's, the Cigar Lounge, and Isabella's. But
yeah, William, I was telling about that nice sip of 1792 Foolproof we had.
That's our boy Donnie. I lost my train of thought. What was I saying before? The drank and smoke was my class. Well, yeah. Yo, like I said, we normally go out there a few times a year. But in regards to the humidor, right?
Yeah.
So the problem is that those of us that have lockers there, which is not a whole lot of us, but from time to time you can tell that they're not doing what they're supposed to do, and that to me it's a little frustrating because I pay my locker membership and the last thing I want is to go into my locker and pull out a hard cigar. You know what I mean?
Right.
And to me it's like I had to get not last year, the year before, everything was almost rock hard. I'm like, and I told the kid, I said, listen, man, I go, look at this. I'm like, I go, when was the last time you guys checked the filtration? I go, there's no reason. I said, these cigars have been here for months.
Right.
You know, and the last thing I want, and mind you, we ain't got cheap stuff in there because we bring some of our stuff that we can't get up there.
Right.
You know, so we got a couple of Opuses and Padrones. I mean, they have Padrones, but these guys, because it's a touristy area, it's marked the hell up. You know what I mean? And now I can only imagine. Go ahead. What are you going to say?
No, I wasn't going to say nothing.
No, go ahead. What are you going to say? For the record, guys, the Opuses and Padron, that's all my boy Ernie. You go to the Panda side, I got all the regular average stuff.
I just know what would have been said if I would have said, oh, yeah, we got a couple of Opuses and Padrones up there. I know what it would have said if I would have said that. But it's all good.
But you are the bougie Don.
Yeah, whatever.
You are the bougie Don, man. Embrace it. Be one with the bouginess.
I do. I have embraced it.
So, yeah, I mean, we're looking forward to it. Like I said, spend some good time just relaxing, doing absolutely nothing, you know. And, you know, like I said, we'll hit Sunset Grill because I absolutely love their clam chowder. Their clam chowder is absolutely to die for. Absolutely to die for. And, yeah, and just do nothing. Like, literally do absolutely nothing, you know.
Yeah.
And that's the good thing about where we rented the Airbnb. Like I said, it's walking distance to everything. Oh, you and the wife would definitely get along then. You both be drinking your wines with your pinky in the air. But, and like I said, you know, it's a good time to get away.
So speaking of bougie, yeah, he said, say that again. Clam what? What were you eating? Clam what?
Chowder.
Chowder? Okay.
Chowder. What's the issue with me saying clam chowder? And it is coffee and sneakers. Oh, please. Say that again. Clam what? Clam chowder. Well, I can say like the Boston people. Chowder. Some chowder. Some clam chowder. Where they go and park their cars. You know? I bust his chops so he got me a coffee mug, right? That says Wicked Smart.
Wicked Smart.
Wicked Smart.
It reminds me of the old joke. If you say the word khakis to somebody in the South, it means a pair of pants. If you say that to somebody from Boston, they're getting ready to go on a trip in their car.
Oh my God. The khakis. Yeah. Oh, listen, I enjoy when we had Garofalo, right? Because Garofalo has that thick Boston, New Hampshire accent. And, you know, it's cigars. You know, in my humidor, I have all my cigars.
That was the greatest interview for me was when we interviewed Dave Garofalo. And he was like, thanks for having me on your podcast. I really like these cigars. I just felt like I was talking to Peter Griffin, man.
That is hilarious. I don't know what a cigar is. I know what a cigar is.
Right.
I know what a podcast is. And it's crazy. You guys bust my chops all the time because I know, and like I said, I seldomly hear my New York accent. There are certain words that I definitely know. When I say, hey, how you doing? That I know because everybody's always saying the same thing to me. But when I say use, you know, but other than that, it's far few in between that I hear myself. So other than when I listen to, I rewatch the podcast and I go, oh my Lord, I go, that's bad, man. That's so bad. And I've been in South Florida over 30 years.
Yeah.
You know, it's insane. Absolutely bananas.
You can take the boy out of New York, but you can't take New York out of the boy.
Oh man, I'm a city boy. I'm a New Yorker.
You know what's funny, and Dina can probably attest to this too. So when we were younger, we used to go up to Philly. I was born in Philly, and you know my parents are from. We used to go up there yearly on a trip, and when you go up there, within the first couple of days, you start getting that dialect back because I don't want to be that, you know, that Southern hick that everybody makes fun of me when they're talking. So you start incorporating some of that stuff back in, and by the time you get home, you're saying that stuff, and you're going, "Oh man, now I got to go back to my Texas lingo."
Look, I notice when I go back to New York, now my accent gets thicker, and my walk drastically changes. I still walk fast, but I got a little. You know what I mean? I noticed, and I'm like, yeah. That sound like I'm a New England now. Yeah, your sister. Oh man, it's just, and like I said, I also catch myself if I'm speaking to another New Yorker, like when that day I was talking with what's his face from Family by Law, Alan, and he said, "What is it? Let me had to see my father's mouth to understand him." That's like my buddy from Boston, right? When him and I were on the job together, some perp pissed him off, and he went off, and his Boston accent kicked in, and I go, "Yo, does this man come with the translator? What the did you just say?" And it kind of just relaxed it. Everyone started laughing, and he just got pissed off because I'm like, "Dude, what the hell did you just say? Get in the car. Get in the car. What the hell's a car? What the hell is a car?" And it's like, he goes, "Pete, I'm not in the mood. I'm not in the mood. Just get in the car." I'm like, "Oh, you mean the car? Okay, I'll go get in the car. We'll go get in the car." Younger comes out. Oh my God. Younger. Yeah, what you do, Younger comes out. Yeah. It's I used to bust his chops all the time. I miss working with the guy. The guy has a memory like a freaking elephant. Mind you, he hasn't worked down here in over 20 years. That man can still remember location, individual's name, and why he got pinched. I'm like, dude, I don't remember any of it. I remember the scenario, how it happened, or what happened, not how it happened, let alone names and stuff like that. I'm good with faces, and there's certain people that will never, leave your mind because of the circumstances,
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. What's up, Black? Yeah, I thought he was talking in tongues to when I'm telling you. I'm like, dude, do you come with the translator or what, man? What the hell was that? Get in the car, get in the car. And all I could do, I'm laughing so hard. I'm literally crying. And the more I laugh, the more pissed off he got. And he is white as snow. So his whole face is glowing red. But it was a good time. Now he's a boss. He's a sergeant up in Boston.
What
another one?
What the hell is going on with my cigars?
Oh, show everybody the one for the tree trunk you pulled out of yesterday's. Look at that damn thing.
That was out of, what was I smoking yesterday? I can't remember. Oh, the Alec Bradley Magic Toast.
That goes to show you.
I couldn't even draw that damn thing.
So what the heck? I just had a brain fart. Hold on. I was trying to remember your sister's name, Dina. So your brother, we bust his chops all the time, right? About him being Bougie Don. Have you seen his segments? Have you seen his segments? Are you still here? Oh, come on. Please be here. Oh, did she leave?
Somebody's here from my Facebook, but I don't know if it's her.
Oh my Lord! To me,
oh, she's here. She's here.
Oh, you haven't seen it? Oh, it's been a minute since the Bougie Don has done a little skit. Give us another minute, and we're definitely gonna show that, because you know what, we all kind of miss the bouginess. I'm just saying.
All right, y'all ready for this?
You ready?
I'm ready.
Go for it. Here you go, Dina.
Hello. Welcome to another episode of Getting Bougie with Don. Today, I'm smoking the Five Vegas Nicaragua. Now, you might say to yourself, is the Five Vegas Nicaragua something that Bougie Don would really smoke? I'm here to tell you, Bougie is not the cigar that you smoke. It's not what you have in your humidor. It's a state of mind. I don't think it's any secret that I like things that are nice. Yeah, this is a really nice cigar. Five Vegas Nicaragua. Vegas makes a couple of different lines. We really like the Nicaragua, the Brazil. We really like the gold. Haven't had many of the other ones that to give a rating on them, but those three, bang on. They're bougie, just so you know. Anyway, lots been going on since the last one of these episodes I did. We made a trip down to South Florida, all four of us, for the Great Smoke. We had a blast. All four of us just running around, lounge to lounge to lounge, to event to lounge to lounge, and just had a great time. That camaraderie that we have there is something special. I don't know if you've checked out our new episodes of our late hour smoke. Those have been really fun for us to do because it gives us kind of an opportunity to chop it up with people who are watching. We've done a couple of sip and smokes, and we've done a couple of interviews since the last time I've done one of these. We've had Pete Johnson, Derek Matthews. We've had a bunch of different people on that were really fun to interview. Anyway, I just wanted to come on here and say hi to everybody and let you know Bougie Don hasn't gone anywhere. I'm still here. Look forward to the next time. Peace. So stupid.
No, dude, it's absolutely, I love it. I absolutely love it. And if you haven't seen his other episodes, you got to look them up because they're priceless. They really are. Why y'all looking stoned?
William, I was thinking the same thing while I was just watching. I was like, why do I look high in that thing?
Oh, man. I was going to go to school until I got high. Ooh, I was going to pass that test till I got high. Oh, man. But we absolutely love it. Absolutely love it. And you know what a segment that we haven't done in a long time? Stogie Minutes.
Yeah, we haven't done that forever either.
Yeah, we got to bring, it is, you get so caught up in the things to be able to do it in one time. How many times did it take you to do that one segment? Were you able to do it on the first take?
First take. That's
Okay.
I try to do it on the first take just so it's real. I try not to write everything out, just.
Yeah. Oh my Lord. But you know what? But that's the fun of it, right? And to me, like the Stogie Minutes, I don't know how many times I had to erase it, delete it, start over. Yeah. Because remember, you try to do everything within that minute.
Right.
Within those 60 seconds, because you kind of want to do things, give the content enough content that it has some validity to it and that people could actually enjoy it and get something out of it within that minute. I think one of my Stogie Minutes might go a little over a minute, but I think we need to go back to that.
Yeah.
But well, guys, if you guys like those Bougie Don segments, I'm telling you, you got to keep on asking for them. I'm telling you,
they're fun to do. All right, brother, man. We'll talk to you. Yeah, I actually have the shirt and tie and sweater out here in the shop now, so I'm sure they'll be making a comeback here soon.
Ooh, that's hilarious. But I mean, listen,
and what you don't know is I had gym shorts on the bottom. So.
I was just gonna say. Oh, that is hilarious. Dude, one day you gotta do that. You gotta just stand up, and, act the part, and they're wearing pajama shorts. Oh, that's too funny. Well, Donnie, but listen, we always do this spontaneous, right? There's nothing really pre-planned. We normally don't have anything that we specifically want to talk about or bring up. But That's what I love about these segments here. It's just us chopping it up and just making fun of each other and stuff like that. And I absolutely love this.
It gives us a a chance to a little behind the scenes. This is what we do on a nightly basis on Discord, and it gives us kind of a chance to chop. Like you said, bust balls, have a good time when we're not trying to get a message, whether it be a guest or whatever topic we're talking about in our sip and smoke. We're not trying to get that message. It's just to have fun and yeah, I did forget to put my pinky up, Blacks. I did. And actually, I made myself a damn old fashioned just so I could sip on the old fashioned. And I forgot about that. It was sitting over here on the side when I was doing it.
Well, there's always tomorrow.
Yeah, there's always tomorrow.
What you need to do is you got to do a few of them, right? And just hold them, just put them on the shelf. And then from time to time, just let it loose. Or, maybe drop something like every Sunday,
Well, I figured out how to do it on StreamYard and then save it to my computer. So, because I was doing them on my phone,
right,
and then trying to upload it to Discord, then taking it from Discord to my computer. It was just a pain in the rear end, but I figured out how to do it on here. So,
okay, nice.
Yeah.
I think I've done one episode by myself on StreamYard.
Yeah.
And there's a couple of segments that I'm thinking of just doing. Is they kind of recapping on things that we've done, and that I've spoken about in the past, as far as like accessory use and and that's pretty much what I'm looking at, more like educating those people that are just getting into this lifestyle, hobby, whatever it is for them at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
So, but yeah, this is a good time. Like I said, although, let me tell you something. Don got on just when the missus got home, and I needed this. So I know this is completely off topic and out of left field, but if you guys don't know, me and the missus, we got a puppy, right?
He's all puppy too.
He's 7 months old, but the damn thing is a horse, right? Don and the guys, when they came down, they got to see him. The dog, he's half shepherd, half Great Pyrenees. And he's in the chewing stage and it's driving me absolutely nuts, right? The wife has bought this damn dog. I don't know how many. What's up, PC? I don't know how many chew toys.
The link's in Discord if you want to jump on.
I tell her, stop buying stuff from Chewy. Chewy, all they're doing is making money off of you because this dog within 5 minutes tears up whatever the heck she buys.
Yeah.
Right? This dog gets more entertained. We got the big gallon water jugs. When we're done with it, I rip the paper out and I step on it, crush it, and I throw it at him, and he entertains himself for hours. All the Chewy stuff that she's bought from Chewy, they're all over the yard. They're all over the ground. I'm like, no, we're done. I'm like, let's go. I'm like, come on, man. I'm like, we're done. But I almost killed this dog the other night, man. I hear something. I open up the door in the garage of the house. This damn thing is chewing on my damn baseboards, man. I almost lost my ish, man. I'm telling you. And he knew he screwed up because let me tell you something. He had me, and I laugh at it now, but this dog pissed me off so much because he had me chasing him around the damn thing, around the kitchen and into the living room, back into the kitchen. I'm like, you son of a gun. Kenya was the only thing that stopped my laugh from chewing. Kanye? Okay. All our shoes smell like spice. Oh man, it's just I'm gonna have to try something because he's at that stage, his teeth are growing in. Like I said, I absolutely love the dog to death. The wife absolutely forget about it. I think that I'll get kicked out before this dog does. But it's just
I can second that.
Oh my God, man! But it's just like I said. I told her, I said, listen, as long as you don't chew up my damn humidor or the couches. I didn't think he was gonna chew the damn baseboard. You know what I mean? Which absolutely that's just like we got him some pig ears on Black. He actually enjoys them. We got him some pig ears. We got him some other stuff, but he'll chew on it for just a little bit, and then he'll stop. And it just. If I had hair, this is exactly what would be the outcome anyway. So, about to get some sleep. I gotta get to the two. Oh man, go ahead, my brother. I understand. We're almost done here, anyways, brother. You get your stuff some sleep. And you be safe out there. No filthy streets, baby.
So back to the cigar here. We don't always talk about cigar, but why is it that? Because, like I said earlier, a lot of cigars that are. I just saw that comment. Does that remind you of what you just heard a minute ago?
Smart, he might be bored. He is very smart, and you're right. It's exactly what he is bored. You know, he is a very active dog. The problem is that the missus works 12 hours. I work 10 hours, and that was actually one of my concerns of actually getting the dog at this time in our lives, because I don't care for kenneling a dog, you know, for 12, 14 hours. Because guess what? You got to expect them to be wild when they get out. You know what I mean? And for them to be in the kennel that long, and then you come home for a couple hours, you let them loose, whatever, and then put them back in the kennel. I can't do that. You know, I just can't. But he's definitely very, very smart. He's very smart. He is bored.
Yeah.
But I'm sorry, Don. What were you saying about the cigar?
So, you know, I said before that this cigar, you know, sometimes when you get into the bigger sizes of cigar, you lose flavor, because just for those that don't know cigars, that the bigger the cigar, the more ratio of filler there is in there versus the wrapper and the binder, which is where you get a lot of the flavor. This cigar really holds its flavor really well, because I've had the Toro, the Gordo, and the Big Five, and they all have really good flavor. And I'm wondering what they do to keep that. You know, I wonder if it's just that Brazilian tobacco is that good. And you know, and I know you love the Brazilian tobacco, but what's up, Crespin?
Yeah, I absolutely love the Brazilian tobacco, and I don't know which one is in this one. I don't know if it's the Matafina or the Arapiraca. You know, either way, I am a big Brazilian tobacco lover. I absolutely love it. And you're right. This Gordo, this is what, 6x60. You know,
this one's 7x6. The
7x60.
Big 5 is 7x60. Yeah.
And it's absolutely, the flavor just never changes. What's up, Crespin? Food puzzles are super effective for when you're leaving for an hour or two. Yeah. I mean, and what we've been doing lately, like we've been taking him on road trips with us, and he behaves perfectly fine. Like, what was it, about 2 weeks ago? We took him for like a 2-hour drive. You know, 2-hour drive, actually 4 hours, 2 hours up and 2 hours back, and he was fine. And you could tell he was mentally exhausted because there was so much going on.
Yeah. Plus, you took him to some different places. You took him out to the lake. You took him to the, you know, when you guys were looking at what you were looking at, you know, you're walking him around the yard. It was, you know.
You know, and we try to do, like, when we're both off, we'll take them to the park, and we'll try to keep them active. I don't care to bring them to dog parks. I'm not a big fan of dog parks. You know, you have a lot of people that think that their dogs are controlled, and they're not. You know what I mean? A lot of nonsense and chaos happens when you do that. But that's no here or there. But I'm gonna have the wife look into those food puzzles. Yeah. I know that he has that little ball that you fill in with that cheese, and that entertains him for a while.
Kong ball, yeah.
Yes. Well, it's not kind. It's rubber. It almost looks like it's normally what the guys from my job use for their dogs. It's just a rubber, like it almost looks like the poop emoji. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's made by Kong, Kong.
Yes.
Yeah. So, is he really food motivated?
Mm-hmm.
So those food puzzles might do him good to try to, you know, keep him engaged.
Yeah, but the problem with him, he's very extremely stubborn. He's very, very stubborn.
Well, the other problem with him too is he's very protective, and he's very prey motive. You know, so you know, like you said, when you let him out, he walks the perimeter of the yard twice before he does anything. So.
Oh, who's that? Oh, is that the Amazon, the
food puzzle?
Do me a favor, Nadine, to send that to your brother so your brother can send it to me if you don't mind.
Yeah, we can't click on it from there. So
Yeah, but yeah. So yeah, I mean, like I said, we're doing the training, and the crazy part, he does absolutely. He looks like a rock star when he's in the training classes. Like a damn rock star. And the things that he listens to me, I'm not. She has to use the e-collar on him because she's not as firm as I am with them, and so that's part of it that she and that's how she needs to use it more as a tool, as a learning tool, for her to work on it. These cigars, try to find my preference.
okay, so I'm going to give my 3, and you can give your 3. So my 3 to start out with would be Perdomo 10th year anniversary champagne.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good light cigar. My favorite cigar is the West Tampa Red Label. I don't think that's going to be too overpowering. Third cigar, what would be it? Am I missing one? You look at me like I'm missing one, the obvious one.
Let me give you a hint.
Yeah.
Blue Label, Drew Estate.
Blue Label. Talking about the Nica Rustica?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the Nica Rustica. Yeah, that's a good one. The Nica Rustica, either the Connecticut Broadleaf or the Adobe would be good. Yeah. So Drew Estate, Nica Rustica, Perdomo Champagne, West Tampa. And if the West Tampa
White Label
red label is a little strong, then the white label might be still got a lot of flavor with less strength to it. And when we say strength, we're talking about the nicotine content. How there's a thing called nicotine sickness that you get if you a lot of times if you smoke on an empty stomach or you smoke a really strong cigar, you'll get that head high stomach
nausea,
little nauseated. And the trick to get rid of that is a little bit of sugar.
Yep.
A little bit of sugar, and that'll go away
sugar
quickly.
Packet.
Yep.
Yeah, and that'll take it away immediately.
Yep.
But yeah, I agree with you, Don. You guys know that's always my number one recommendation is the Perdomo 10th anniversary champagne because it's a mild, creamy cigar. It's there's no real pepper or no spice to it. It's just a very easy, enjoyable smoke that you could enjoy early in the morning, and they come in all different sizes, which is even better. They have the smaller Robustos, they have the Robustos, Toros, and Churchills. But my advice to you, Phil, honestly, is to start off with a smaller cigar like a Robusto, because if you don't like it, at least you could probably push through at least half of it and enjoy half of it. So I wouldn't go for the longest sticks. Not now, not until you build your palate up. But yeah, those are 3 great cigar recommendations.
So you're definitely going to find the Drew Estate, Nica Rustica, and the Perdomo Champagne in almost every shop. The West Tampa is going to be a little bit more hit and miss because they're what we call a boutique cigar still. They haven't made it big yet. They will. I promise you they will. They're coming out with some bangers, but they're getting more and more prominent in shops.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, and those are those are 3 good cigars for you to start off with. But I promise you probably enjoy that Perdomo. That Perdomo stick is such a good stick. Like I said, that's the number one cigar that I recommend every new smoker to start off with. And if you feel that it's too light, then you could go up to the next one. You could go to a Sumatra. You know what I mean? You can go to a Sun-Grown. There's so many different levels that you could go up before you hit the Maduro and the Habano.
Now, this isn't 100% always, but normally the darker the wrapper you're going to get, the stronger the cigar is going to be. Not always. We know some light wrapper cigars that'll drill a hole through your head, but normally the darker the wrapper you get, the stronger in flavor and in strength you're gonna have.
Yeah, I would definitely stay. I would probably start off, like I said, with the Connecticut's first. And mind you, and you might never go past that because I got people at the shop that all they smoke is Connecticut's. You know what I mean? Because anything above a Connecticut, it gives them the headache or the nausea because too much nicotine content in it. So, yeah, but those are definitely good recommendations. And Perdomos, I promise you, you'll find them everywhere. So.
Try to get some examples here of different things.
And if you're gonna get yourself a really good cutter. maybe your brother-in-law maybe be nice enough to ship you one of his 3,000 of them that he has, you know.
Okay, so here's some examples. So this is a Connecticut wrapper. You can
Put
see how
yourself
light.
on the big screen, Don.
Figure out how to do that.
You tap your screen, tap your thing.
No, you got to do this.
There you go.
So this is a Connecticut wrapper. So it's lighter. It's you're gonna get more creaminess out of it, you know, that kind of stuff. This would be, I'm not sure if this is a Habano or a Sumatra, but this is a kind of a mid-level Habano, you know, a little darker there. And then you get into the darker Maduros. I got two of them here. Like, you know, they're almost. So that's kind of the three, and there's, mind you, there's 1,000 steps in between there, but those are kind of the basic, you know. Wait, I keep wanting to say flavors. I don't know if flavor is the right word, but the basic wrappers, you know.
Yeah, well, we call them notes, you know, different notes, and you know, listen, it's no different than when you're trying different bourbons, right? Different bourbons have different tastes to it. You know, it's the same concept with cigars, right? You're gonna get certain things, and the crazy part is that women's palates are a lot more refined than ours, so they'll be able to pick up a lot more when you hear us say certain things. Like you'll hear us say, "Oh man, this cigar is very leathery," right? And you know, some people they're like, "Well, what do you know what leather tastes like?" Well, it's not that I went and chewed on my damn belt. You know what I mean? Leather is what? It's very dry. You know, and you'll run into cigars that will completely dry out your palate. So your tongue will be extremely dry, and you got to constantly drink water. Then you have others that have so much, you know, notes and flavors and spices that you're gonna over salivate. You know, and you have people that have spit cups, you know, and stuff like that, or you see people just spit and whatever, because it's just so much that their palates are getting so overwhelmed, you know. But and the one that comes to mind is that Gurkha Evil. You know what I mean? That is an extremely leathery.
Like
you
sand.
have to drink a gallon of water. I mean, to me, it's not an enjoyable cigar because of that. Because your palate, your mouth is constantly dry. You know. So and then you get your regular spices, right? You'll get red pepper, black pepper, white pepper, you know, in different notes. And mind you, if you're not a chef, I'd say people that bake a lot, they could really pick up the different spices, and you get a lot of dark chocolate, like a dark cocoa.
So I was going to say on these darker wrappers, you'll get some dark cocoa notes. You'll get some chocolate, you know. And when he says, you know, like you said, I've never tasted leather. It's kind of what leather smells like, or makes you, you know, when you draw it in, you're like, oh, it smells like leather, you know, or what's the cedar? You know, they get a lot of cedar notes in cigars and that kind of stuff.
You know what? I just had that. You're right. I had they'll flush you flushing the line with saline, and you get that. I don't get a Windex, but I get like a metallic taste. You know, it is, yeah, but you're right. You know, smell and taste are very, very much connected, you know. But yeah, and like I said, you just, you know what, all I say is just take your time, enjoy, because you know what you don't want to do is purchase the wrong cigar and then ruin the entire experience.
Right.
You know, that will be the worst thing for you to do. That's why, you know, and Don knows, I've gotten into with certain people, they're like, oh, you know, sink or swim. Well, that's not the purpose of this. You know, the whole purpose of this is for people to just sit back and enjoy it, whether they're with a group of people or by themselves. That's the one thing I love about cigars, right? Because I could just sit back, get on my phone, or just listen to some music and enjoy a nice cigar. Just enjoy the heck out of it by myself.
I always tell people, like, you know, with cigars, give it 2 weeks. Give it 2 weeks. If you don't like it after 2 weeks, then give it another 2 weeks.
And listen, the reality is this, right? You're not gonna know where your palate's at until you start experimenting, right? So
and most people,
Good.
Most people, just like beer or bourbon or whatever, the first time you tasted bourbon, you didn't go, "Oh, that's good." The first time you tasted alcohol, you went, "Do people really drink this crap?"
Right.
And then you start acquiring a taste for it, and when you can start picking out some of the nuances in that bourbon or that wine or that, whatever beer or whatever, I know with all the craft beers, there's, different notes in beer now, and same thing here. It's an acquired, you know, what I hear a lot of people say that are either new to cigar smoking or don't smoke cigars. I love the smell. I love
Right.
the smell. I love the smell of cigar burning. Reminds me of hanging out with my grandpa, or and really you don't get that same. I don't get the same taste on like I can walk into a block now and I know somebody's smoking a cigar now because it makes you go, ooh, where's the cigar shop around here? but flavor wise, I get so much more enjoyment out of like you said, picking out the notes, trying to. A lot of times you'll get and you'll be chasing that note. There's something in there that you're like, what is that? What is that? You did it on a cigar 6 months ago, and you end up figuring out that it was molasses, but you couldn't figure it out. Like there's a sweetness. What is that taste I'm tasting?
Mm.
And so for me, whenever I'm stuck with a new cigar, I try to smoke it first and pick out and that's why if you guys are watching, sometimes we'll do some blind smokes where we don't know what we're smoking, and we'll try to pick out the notes. And then one person of the four of us knows what they're smoking and knows what the manufacturer says the note should be, and we try to pick them out and see how close we get, and that kind of. So I try to smoke a cigar first before I look it up to see what, because if you look it up, then you can talk yourself into, oh yeah, I tasted that, but
yeah. Nadina made a valid point. You're right. It is like wine, and like I enjoy some ports, like I said, but most ports are very, very sweet, very, very sweet. A lot of it is very subjective.
It's all very subjective. Yeah,
it's all subjective. All of it. You're absolutely right, Pat. And because you know what, there's certain cigars that I might enjoy that Dom might not like, or PC or JJ, and I'm like, it was okay for me because it just didn't agree with me and my palate. You know what I mean? Although it hasn't been that many cigars that the four of us we've spoken about that we didn't like. I'm trying to think of.
We have very similar palates, but and that's why you'll never hear us other than the occasional joke with each other or whatever. You'll never hear us making fun of anybody smoking infused cigars. If that's what you like, that's what you like. A lot of the Drew Estate Deadwood series, they have a sweet tip to them. They're not. You're not smoking a fruity flavored cigar, but they have a sweet tip, and so you get
the acid line.
The acid line, yeah.
The acid line is listen. Most women smoke like the Cuba Cuba is a big. That's huge with the females, or the Cuba Cubas, the blondies, because they have that sweet smell to it, and it's the way it smells is the way it burns and that aroma, and listen, the guys at the shop. Instantly, you could be playing dominoes or just chopping it up. All of a sudden, we all get that sweet smell. We're like, the heck is that? And God forbid is one of the guys that is smoking it. I'm gonna tell you that now. You know what I mean? Because if one of the guys is smoking that, we're busting chops. You know what I mean?
But also, with that being said, and that's all in fun. With that being said, if that's what you enjoy and that's what gets you the relaxation that we get out of this, by all means, man, hammer it.
Enjoy. Listen, smoke what you want to smoke. Know your price point, because that's another thing that's very important. Because this could get very, very expensive if you don't.
And the most expensive cigar is not always the best cigar.
Exactly, and that's what I'm getting at. Don't let that confuse you, and don't let a tobacconist. If you go into a cigar shop and a tobacconist immediately takes you to the most expensive cigar in that humidor, honestly,
he's trying to make a commission.
Yeah, walk out it. To me, that's an injustice, and you know what? You don't even want to be dealing with that person. A true tobacconist should be asking you questions. Have you ever smoked before? Okay, what have you smoked? Did you just finish eating? What did you eat? What do you like to drink? Are you a coffee person? Are you a Dr. Pepper person? Are you like your teas? Because everything's gonna affect your palate and that cigar smoke. So keep that in mind as well.
Hey, Blacks, are you still here? If you're still here, do you have a nice shop there in the LA area that you would recommend that Trey goes to? We asked who did we ask that?
Ruben.
Ruben works at a shop, doesn't he? Or he did.
Yeah,
he was working. He was
a while ago. Yeah.
Okay, but he has a buddy or something that has a shop there. And
yeah, because
I'll reach out to him.
I don't know if you want there because when the last thing I heard, mind you, we haven't spoken to Ruben in a long time. The last time prior to him popping up here, the guy was barely open because he was doing a mobile lounge, and he was doing a lot of business outside of the shop.
Gotcha.
Oh, absolutely. And you know what? And the thing is, honestly, you definitely there you go, Pat. Who was it that was at? Oh, Phil. Phil, there you go.
Bellflower.
I don't know Cali like that. So Bellflower, this one, and Inglewood Drove. I don't know how far where you are. Is it? But there's an app now, isn't there? Like Cigar Shop Finder or something like that.
I have no idea.
I'm
not going to get on it because I'll find more cigar shops and I'll be in even more trouble than I'm in now. So
I'm trying. Yeah, I do not need any. I need another humidor. So if any of you guys are looking for someone to talk about your humidor, the Panda's looking for a humidor, roughly about a 300 count. Nothing really big,
Oh, here, let me post it. Sorry.
Let's go, moderator, man. Get with the program here, buddy. There you go. See that, and that's important.
I'll put that one back up so you can. I forgot you guys can't. You guys are on Facebook.
One job, Don. One job.
One job. You're right.
I don't know. I mean, figure out. I snuck over to YouTube to read it.
Subscribe while you're there if you haven't already.
I think they did the first time they popped on. But once again, guys, listen, like I said, we just decided to jump on and just chop it up and talk about nothing, as you guys could tell. Guys, if you haven't hit that subscribe button, by all means, hit the subscribe button. Definitely share. And once again, when we go live, people that we know, we just met, pop on. We'd like to talk. If there's any topic that you guys want to talk about, it doesn't necessarily have to be about cigars. We talk about everyday life just the same, but we greatly appreciate you guys coming on and just chopping it up with Donnie Boy and myself, or should I say, AKA Bougie Don. Well, Don, that's another hour, buddy.
Yep.
Nah, boy, let me tell you something. So, I get out of work late tomorrow, and then the weekend comes, and then we this weekend I'm probably gonna just relax. I'll be honest with you, and if I need to catch up on any work, I'm probably gonna bring my laptop home and do what I can from home, because next week is going to be a short week. I only work Tuesday, Wednesday, and then and that's pretty much it. There's one in Long Beach I haven't gone yet. I heard it's a good spot. What's the name of it, Black? I'm telling you, man. You know what? See, now I'm gonna have to find it for you, Phil. If I find it, I'll send it to Don so he could send it to you. But I know there is an app, and I'm trying to think who was it that told me about this app, and it's all 50 states.
That'd be good, like for people who travel. If you're in a state somewhere and a lot of times you're traveling alone, like, hey, I'm just gonna go to the cigar shop. If you don't know where one is,
yeah.
and you don't have any ratings on, I assume on that app they give.
Yeah, I'm sure they do. And not only that, but it's called Fat Stogies. There's another cigar app that I used to have years ago. That it's a like cigar reader. Basically, you take your phone and you put the cigar in front of it. It reads it and then it pops up and it tells you everything about that cigar. You know, it tells you the make, you know, where it's made, who makes it, the filler, the whole spiel about that cigar. I remember I used to be it's been a while since I followed these guys, Cigar Dojo. You know, I used to be on them with them all the time. Man.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, I learned about Southern Draw through Cigar Dojo when he first came out, and I was like, never heard of it. I'm gonna look for it. But yeah, well, guys, we appreciate this time. We absolutely love chopping it up with you guys. Hopefully, you guys stay tuned. Pat, I promise you, I know I keep on repeating myself. I sound like a broken record, but Sunday, as a matter of fact, Sunday, what are you doing Sunday, Don?
You're looking at it.
All right. So you know what, Pat? I'm gonna reach out to you. Maybe we could do a segment on Sundays. Are you still good on Sundays, Pat? I don't know what because I know JJ's like. I know JJ is
He said he's
busy
more
during the week.
Yeah, he says more.
All right, cool. Yeah, I should be good to go. All right, perfect. So what I'll do is I got your email. So what I can do, worst case scenario, if JJ or BC can't jump on, we'll send you the link and you'll be able to pop on with us. Well, guys, we appreciate it. Want to give thanks. We'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace.